Hello and welcome. Today is a day that ends with the letter Y. You know what that means? Comic book drama. That's right. We got comic book drama going on once again. Indie comics never seems to be free of drama. It's a whole lot of people who are all looking out for themselves, and sometimes that looking out takes a turn for the not so happy. And I think that's kind of where we are here. So this was something I kind of ignored when it first happened. Dave Williams, the artist for Bass Reeves, and was also the artist for this campaign here, Truth, Justice, American Way, and he got kicked off of his book, Truth, Justice, American Way, not Bass Reeves, by the other person working on the book, Gabe El-Taib, who got a new artist. And the reasons for this stuff are many and varied and unhappy. And there's like Twitter threads about this, and I'm sure there's been other videos talking about this part of the drama. And you can go check all that stuff out if you want. Here's a little sample of that. Mitch Breitweiser seeing this about a week ago. He's like, wait, why was somebody who's working on the book with David trying to get David to quit working on the book? And think about it. Yeah, I understand you want your baby to be like the number one priority for other people, right? Like that's just human nature. Like, hey, I want my thing to take priority. But you're working with somebody on a project with that person. Like, this isn't like, oh yeah, he's working on this other book and I have to wait for him to finish, but you're waiting on him to do stuff for that book so you can do stuff for that book. You know what's going down. You know what's on his slate. You chose to work with him knowing this, and then you get mad at him. Plus, that first tweet we were looking at said David's wife got sick or something. Like, very understandable what's going on. Whether that excuses production delays or not, I'll leave that as you to argue among yourselves. But still, this isn't what we're here to talk about. I want to talk about the recovery from this. Mitch Breitweiser, or I guess probably whoever runs the Allegiance Arts like marketing stuff, probably isn't Mitch, sent me an email. We're not going to pull that up because there's a tweet that says the same thing, and we're going to take a look at that, although the tweet is more terse because it's a tweet and not an email. But it came out like yesterday or day before is when I got it, and it was like, hey, we're going to finish off Bass Reeves with special guest colorists. So some kind of drama happened. Gabe is no longer on Bass Reeves doing the colors. I'm not going to comment about that any further than what I just said. What I did like is they're putting a nice positive spin. Elizabeth and I will be coloring episode 6 and the remaining covers. This finale is going to be strong. Thank you. And then a big boom, powerful arm strunk. I can get behind that. It's a nice positive spin. It's recovering from a problem someone else made. And I think this is probably the best way to do it. Life has to go on. Books have to go on. Production schedules have to be met. That's life. And it's not really necessarily about what you do. Let's make this bigger so you got like that to look at. It's not really about what you do necessarily. A lot of it is about how you pick yourself up, how you recover from things that are done to you. It's not necessarily your action that defines who you are, but it can often be your reaction that defines what it is. And in this case, I have not seen a whole lot of drama about this change in who's coloring the book and that kind of stuff. There probably is. There probably is a bunch of stuff out there, and I just ain't seen it. But I got like alerted by that email that I got from Allegiance Arts, and I looked at it, and I'm like, okay, that's a great spin to put on this situation. And I came over here, boom, on Mitch's account, very positive spin, making the best of the situation. Communicating positively, that's thing number one. Communicating in a way that tells people what you're doing. Even if you're not necessarily doing the third thing of explaining why it's happening, just letting people know, hey, this is what's going on. That is a good update. That is a big step up in communication, I think. Because you go back to the Red Rooster era stuff, Mitch was frustrated, Mitch was angry, and Mitch was not communicating with his backers about what they were doing very often. Or he'd be like, hey, we just got a new art studio or whatever set up. And it's like, that's great, Mitch. I'm here to hear about the book. What's going on with the book? Well, here we go. With this campaign, we got an update about the book. And I think that's a great step forward for Mitch. Hopefully, the book overcomes the production delays that this is going to incur, and they get the colors done, and they get the book finished, and it ships on time, all that jazz. Which reminds me, I still got to read Nora's Saga. I should pick that up and read it. But I did not actually get a whole lot of time to read this past weekend here over Christmas. Anyway, you all take care of yourselves. You have a great day, great night, great whatever you got going on. I sure hope to see you again next time. And I like what I'm seeing here. You know, Mitch, keep up the communication. You just got to tell people what's going on, and people will usually be okay with what you're doing. Well, take care of yourselves, and have a great one. Bye bye. And by the way, I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you're going to have a Happy New Year.